tweet has been twote. Pretty sure that's how you conjugate that verb.
Yeah.
That sounds legit to me. Hi guys.
It's how Shakespeare would have said it, I'm sure.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going. How are y'all?
Pretty good. Not too shabby. Really looking forward to the end of next week. And by the end of next week, I mean like 8 p.m. on Saturday, because that's going to be the last little bit of work that I have to do.
And then you're out of there for good?
There's like one more thing after that, but that's like trivial by comparison.
Ryan, I heard that Dave and Cassidy were in town.
Yeah, I was not though. So I didn't get to see them. I was backpacking.
Really?
Yeah, so.
Well, did you have fun? Where'd you go?
I went out to Conundrum Hot Springs outside of Aspen. It was really awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it was definitely a solid hike, but once you get there, it's pretty cool. It's like, yeah, hot springs at the top of this like 10,000 foot mountain. And you just like sit and look over the valley that you just hiked up.
I must say.
Yeah, it was cool. But yeah, unfortunately, the last two times, he was in town a couple weeks ago, and I missed him too.
Well, and they're getting married soon, right?
Yeah, I'm in that wedding, and that's actually why I need to see him and talk to him. So, yeah. Yeah, I definitely need to get my suit and tuxedo all set up.
How are you, Travis?
Good. Tired. I work in this heat when I'm in the field, so 100-degree days in fire retardant clothing and hard hats and stuff is not very fun.
Oh goodness.
I was telling Andrew, for like the first time ever, the room that I'm in for summer school actually has good air conditioning.
Nice.
So that's pretty exciting, because that is not usually the case.
It can't be a DPS building then.
No, it's at South. They put in quote unquote air conditioning at South a few years ago, but it's really not like it doesn't work, and most of the rooms are still really hot. A couple of them are like freezing cold.
Oh, jeez.
But this is one of the science labs that they have pretty well calibrated. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. What am I doing? I am roll 20.
Sorry, I'm just getting a few things set up. We're streaming now, by the way. Let's see. Cool. Yes, I am streaming now. I'm responding to someone in the chat. My friend John, who's been very kind and has been watching a lot of this stuff.
Oh, well, hey, John. You said his name was John, right?
Otherwise known as Erston Greatman. So if you ever see him around and under that name, you'll know who that is. But yeah, I'm glad that we're back. It's been a while. I'm trying to think of if there was a lot. Lies, you don't see me around. That's true, Erston. I'm trying to think of like what happened last game, to the extent of like, how much of a recap we'll need. And I'll understand if nobody here remembers what happened last time. So let's see.
I know we were going to the port. That's all I remember. Oh, and we had seen a huge alligator.
Yeah, we're a cursed people living in a cursed land.
Mm-hmm. Right, and we're going there to parlay or find proper, like, good, like, decent food, like for our Fen community.
Yeah, we all left under that pretense, but I'm not sure if everyone has the same motivation.
Right.
Yeah. So just as a reminder, like I'm moving the map around, so you all kind of had your little elven village that was all desiccated and sad, where you and a handful of other survivors were just kind of trying to make like a very meager day-to-day existence. By the way, I feel like my computer's being loud. Do you all hear that?
Your computer? I can't hear anything.
Like a fan on my computer. Anyhow, okay. If you don't, then I'm not going to worry about it. But so you had this meager day-to-day existence. You all have been cursed by the Pontifex Maximus, a mysterious being that exists within the old kingdoms and seems to have been spreading their nasty influence throughout the entire area. You were also drawn to this specific place, this kind of cursed fen that you were inhabiting, and at least as far as conventional wisdom goes, you'll always return to it no matter what, or die. You won't return if you die, unless the ghosts that are being attracted here are the ghosts of the people who die outside of the fen, and themselves are coming back, which is a really depressing thought. However,
no kidding.
That being said, you all defeated one of the tectonic entities that had kind of gathered up some, it kind of like fashioned itself a telekinetic body to try and kill you, because that's what they do. You defeated the creature, or at least its corporeal form, and decided that you had had enough of this place. You were going to set out and try and do something different. You left behind a number of less capable survivors to potentially help them by going out and doing something, but also it did sound like there was a little bit of a tenor that you were maybe just going to strike out on your own and kind of leave it in the dust. So you did strike out into the world, that is. You made your way into the kind of pseudo peninsula. I'm moving back to that. And I kind of presented you with a lot of different options for places you could go. The Ogre Warrens to the southeast, to the colony of the Pontifex, probably don't want to go there. To the south, I'm sorry, Ogre Colony southwest, colony of the Pontifex southeast. A little bit further east than that, the colony of Timro, which is inhabited mostly by humans, but most of them are Sleevers. There's the Sargasso of Regret out in the ocean to the east. And then finally to the northeast, the Port of Last Voyages. So the Port of Last Voyages, as ominous as the name implied, was probably the most inviting place. I had described it as this kind of pirate's den, and you were making your way over to it when you basically had to cross a dank swamp and were able to narrowly avoid combat with a massive crocodile, the kind which, in other worlds would be lost to time. This thing is basically a dinosaur eater. So you avoided that. You made your way to the Port of Last Voyages and are now there, or at least on the outskirts of it. If somebody would like to do so, they can make a history check.
I got a +2.
I only have one.
Yeah, I've got +1. Like,
All right.
I got +3.
Oh,
ooh,
That's Travis.
oh, way better.
Yeah, I would say so.
yeah.
All right. Ooh, very nice. So Kif, you were able to recall that the Port of Last Voyages was actually built on the quote unquote bones of an old dwarven port. Dwarves aren't especially known for their sailing capabilities or their affinity towards the ocean. But in this case, many, many years ago, the dwarves did in fact build a port, as they were one of the dominant powers in the world at the time. So they needed a port to send and bring various goods back and forth, to sell their various goods, whether it was stone carvings or rune weapons or other important artifacts that they were in the habit of creating, as well as to bring in things that they were not able to create or make. such as large stores of food that were non-seasonal and other kind of manufacturing materials that were not known to this land. So that's all getting into the weeds. However, all of that to say, this dwarven port had been destroyed at one point by an earthquake sometime during the Dwarf Elf Wars. People aren't sure if it was actually because of the war or just a coincidence, although the timing of it made people not really believe that it was. But there are a number of underground structures that legend says have never been explored because they've been sealed off by the various cave-ins and such that have just kind of created these pockets. So every so often, explorers and adventuring groups think to try and unearth some of these little pockets. But more importantly, pirates have come to inhabit this area because they can just walk into some of the above ground structures and just call that home and call it a day. But many legends tell that there are things below the city that have yet to be discovered or rediscovered, as the case may be. And that it is only a matter of time before someone other than these lackadaisical pirates inhabits the city and tries to extract all of the riches within, whether or not they actually exist. So that is this place. It is a hive of scum and villainy. As you walk in, you're being spied upon by any number of different peoples who are invariably pirates or thugs or cut purses or cutthroats, as the case may be. And you are not at all greeted except for the leers and snarls of people who are too careless to hide from you or too brutish to care about your presence. So as you are walking amongst the loping locals, they largely either ignore you or pay you too much attention from the shadows as you all feel their stares upon you. But you are here in what is probably the only population center in this area that isn't also some kind of a military outpost or some cursed disaster.
Shall we find the local tavern?
That sounds like a good idea, I suppose.
Yes, we are looking for a ship, correct?
I think our friend, who's not quite here yet, is looking for to steal some sort of ship. Yes. I think, yeah. At the end of the day, we're looking for some food, maybe, and maybe some information on this Pontifex.
Yes, we had talked about maybe fishing, like that we could do a fish haul from a boat.
Oh yeah.
Well, Kif thinks that tavern is a good place to go to start that.
Yes.
Yeah, if nothing else, it's a good place to, I don't know, carouse if that's the sort of thing you're into.
I'm gonna have Sir Lawrence just kind of cruise around town and keep an eye on things. Report back to us if he sees anything.
Who's Sir Lawrence again?
My cat mount.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's right. Cat mount.
So you all are kind of exploring this city, and it looks like just as ruined as it is inhabited. You're crawling over debris here and there. The people here really don't even seem to care to like clear a roadway of just giant piles of rubble. In fact, to a degree, if this city were to ever get attacked, it would be the perfect defensible position. People would be crawling over piles of rocks at every turn. And so you find yourselves doing the same thing. You're kind of like crawling through rocks, getting laughed at by locals as you kind of like slide down a pile as like it kind of slides back down on you and so on. But without much effort, you're able to find one of the purveyors of grog within the city, of which there are many. And much to the reputation of the port of Last Voyages, most of the potable things here are disgusting. If there's not just water that's been sourced from a local well, then you're likely getting something that is the equivalent of something that was fermented under a radiator. Like you're getting the lowest of the low kind of alcohol here. So unless you're hardy or just eager for a drink, you're probably not going to be too terribly impressed with the booze here.
So like some Pruno level drink.
Kids had better swill in the bathtub.
I mean,
we are cursed, I guess.
The people around here would be lucky to find a bathtub to make mint juleps in, but like for right now, you guys are getting like, you know, Kool-Aid sangria or something. Like it's just not great.
Kool-Aid sangria. Oh boy! All right.
That's rough.
Is there a game of dice or any kind of cards that Kif sees in the tavern to wet?
It's curious, but you walk into one of the local pubs, and I use the term loosely, and there's no wall, so you just kind of walk in through this like kind of cube with one open end, where people are just kind of doing their business, and there's like a bar and everything. It's all very piecemeal. But you do see in one dark corner there apparently does seem to be actually a group of monstrous folk, as some might call them. So like orcs and bugbears and lizard folk and so on, who are playing a game of dice. And as you approach, you can tell that the dice have been so worn that they're actually rounded off on some ends.
Perfect. This is Kif's kind of game and gang.
Seems fun to me.
Right, I'm just gonna keep my eyes peeled for any trouble, because I imagine we're walking right into it.
So there's a dapper-looking orc who's wearing like just a vest and pants and a top hat, and he has like a broken monocle that's got like half of a glass in there, and he's using like a branch that's been kind of smoothed out, like it's kind of like a baton
Craps.
almost. Is he kind of like pointing people out and going, step right up, step right up. We've got the greatest game of craps in all the land. You'll win more money here than you would anywhere in Timro. And when he says Timro, all the monster people, boo, boo.
Kif says sign Kif up.
I'll put a coin down. Nothing
All
else
right,
to lose.
so why don't each of you roll 2d20, and this would be disadvantage, as they say.
$14.
That's not bad.
Each money.
3.
Yeah, 2d20. All right. Kif and Mirik, you both lose your coin just as soon as you set it down. I mean, it's not like someone stole it, but like you know that the rhythm of this game is like, oh, you bet you lost. All right. Do more. Maybe we can talk. I don't know. We're kind of a high stakes game place right here. He like twirls his baton and like kind of taps it on the wall. All right. Time for the next bets. Double or nothing round. And Miltiades, I'm saying that correctly, right?
Yes.
Miltiades, you doubled your bet so far. You can put it back down and see if you can double it again.
Oh yeah.
Let it ride. Kif needs to get back in this too.
All right, you can do the same thing. I'm not having you do gambling because basically this is fixed. So it's very unlikely that you'll win. You as players know that, like your characters wouldn't necessarily, but like this is not only does the house always win, the house always cheats.
Oh yeah. I'll try one more.
Go for it.
Oh, ouch.
All right, you're back at square one, and the orc barker just says, "Oh, better luck next time. I hope that your luck is longer than you are tall."
I take a sip of the schwill and just gulp it down and walk away.
Kif, you're up. So your initial coin that you bet you lost, you put down another 2. You've effectively doubled that. So you're up 3 coins, let's say.
Perfect.
I don't know if you want to go again.
Kif will take his winnings and continue on. Find some information maybe.
So the orc barker just says, "Oh, I like someone who knows when they're ahead, even if that head lacks a nose." But of course, what do I know? I'm just one of the richest people here in the Port of Lost Voyages. But I can show you more if you want to try your hand again.
What are the odds? Anything changing? Let's play some odds.
It's the same game it's always been. You put down coin, we see if you win.
All right, let's go. Kif lays down 2 more and requests a beer on top of that, a nice shitty ale from the top shelf.
Yeah, they give you, like, it's not just bad beer, but it's like 3-2 beer. And it's like, you don't know why, but it has like the warmth of something that's been sitting in the sun for a while. And not on purpose either. It's not like this is supposed to be drank warm. It's warm and you don't know why.
It's wet. That's all I care about. That's all Kif cares about.
This ale tastes like piss.
So you do lose your 2 coins, and he says, "Oh, better luck next time. Let's see if you come back. If you find a nose and you have a nose for gambling, you come back and I'll take care of you."
Good to know. Good to know.
It's gotta hurt, Kif.
There's only about 6 more where those came from. So.
I would draw. Oh, go ahead.
I was
just going to say.
Oh, you.
No, you go ahead.
What's a Canadian standoff?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, you first. No, you first.
So, I think Kif came out even on that one because you were up 3, you bet 2 and lost. Actually, you ended up 1. So I mean,
up 1 that's my perfect. Yeah.
Down 1.
All right, what was Draw gonna say?
I think Draw would like to wait until these guys have lost enough money, and then he'd like to go up and throw a coin down, not to gamble. Actually, wait. We don't have a lot of money, do we? We're only
not a lot, no.
Yeah. Okay. I think because he doesn't need to eat really. So at this moment, he doesn't really need a whole lot of coin. He's going to put 3 gold down. Look at the hawker and just so friend, I think you've had enough fun taking money from my friends here. But how would you like to give something back? Just a little bit of information.
Why, information? That's an interesting proposition. What have you got in mind?
Well, at the moment, we're looking to procure some fish, as it were. We're looking for some quality food for our community. And you seem to be well in tune with the workings of this city and seem to know how to get things done. So how about you quit taking us for our gold and just point us on our way?
I don't see why not. But that sort of information doesn't come free, you know, especially for a walking costume such as yourself.
Right. Good
Very
one, little
rude.
man. Perhaps you didn't see the gold that I slapped down on here. This isn't a bet. This is money for you for good information.
Well, good information.
And I mean good information. I don't mean you send us down an alleyway to get beat up. I don't mean you send us to a baker who fills his bread full of sawdust. I mean the good shit.
Do you want to either give a persuasion or intimidation check? I would allow either.
I for some reason I didn't get proficiency in either of those, but yeah, let's do intimidation. That feels like fun. All right. 13.
Let me.
Oh, can I do anything that gives anyone advantage? No.
Yeah, he's he talks a big talk as you might imagine, but he does acquiesce. He says, "Very well, I see where you're coming from, and your friends have already paid me quite handsomely as well, so I don't see why I couldn't do you a turn. That being said, if you really wish to go fishing, you'd have to find yourself a boat. Not much call for fish around these parts. People are usually concerned with fish of another sort, if you catch my drift. But I did hear that there's a gentleman who might be willing to sell his boat, and the price is not terrible for a group such as ourselves."
All right, that sounds a bit intriguing. But no, what are you talking about? Fish of a different sort? I don't understand.
One is born every minute.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah, I get you now. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one there. Well,
he just does he mimes like a fishing rod and just kind of takes the joke a step too far.
Yeah.
So where would we see this gentleman about this boat?
Well, rumor has it that he's staying in one of the few hotels in this fine city. If you wish, I can put in a good word for you.
What do you think, gentlemen? Would he at least be worth talking to?
Yeah, can I do an insight check?
Give it a shot.
See if he's
on the up and
of
up.
it.
Oh, nice.
So with that roll, he seems amused by all of you in very different degrees. He's amused by those of you who lost money. He's amused by Draw's mere presence. He's never seen anyone like Kiv before, and he's kind of trying to size him up and trying to figure him out. Miltiades, he thinks you're hilarious. You're like a rocket raccoon to him, and he's just like, what is this little, this little talking pipsqueak? But he seems to be at least on the up and up. He knows when someone comes in here of plump wallet, let's say, and he would be likely to take them for a ride. He can see on all of you that you're just down on your luck, and it would be like squeezing blood from a stone. So he's not really interested in trying to take you for a ride. It would be too mean, like taking candy from a very sick baby. And so he's more interested in just hey, maybe if I do you a turn, then you'll get rich, then I'll take you for a ride. Especially if you are ingratiated to me. That's what that high insight got you. It's hey, maybe you'll come back, you'll have money, and then I can pull one over on you. But until then, I'm not interested in pulling wool over your eyes.
Fair enough.
All right. Well,
Well,
should
let's,
we go see a man about a boat, or
yes.
Sounds good to me.
If things so, what time of day is it?
It is, I'm gonna say it's like 11 o'clock. It's like close to noon.
Okay.
The
So
man should be around.
You're drinking and gambling pretty early.
when they say it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, that's here.
Oh, nice.
this is somewhere.
So you head over to the establishment that's like on the seafront.
Quick question, actually, Ish. With, like this colony of the Pontifex, do they people follow the Pontifex? Do they like wear like symbols? Can we like keep an eye out for people that would be following this?
Yeah, so you are familiar with the fact that Pontifex had this meteoric rise to fame and power. So for those of you who are old enough, that is to say, like if your character's not like 10 years old, because that's what your character is or whatever. But if your character is like more than 10 years old, they would know that the Pontifex first became heard somewhere around 15 years ago. As just this kind of rumor, like, ooh, there's a Pontifex and he's gathering the monsters and he's going to bring around this wonderland of like, you know, orcs and goblins and ogres and everything, and we're all going to overthrow the humans and we're going to bring glory to the old kingdoms. And it's not going to be called the old kingdoms anymore. It's going to be called the monster kingdoms, and it's going to be great. So that was like 15 years ago. And over that 15 years, the Pontifex just went from being like this whisper in the wind to being this massive force who has already established several different colonies and cities throughout the old kingdoms. And it was during those 15 years that all of you kind of came across the Pontifex in some way, shape, or form. And kind of the infamy of the Pontifex began to grow. Of those who crossed the Pontifex became cursed, those who were slain and made examples by the Pontifex, and the military campaigns carried out by the Pontifex against the human kingdoms and bordering regions, where in fact human slaves were then brought back, which many formerly enslaved so-called monster races were more than happy to be like, yeah, now it's our turn, take that. So the Pontifex went from, like I said, being like this upstart nobody who was just trying to like start get this rise in reputation to being very much this tyrannical despot who treats the again so-called monster races very well, but then even among those, people who oppose the Pontifex are swiftly dealt with, and very unfairly, as you all can attest. Regarding the question of like, do they wear insignia? Yes. So the Pontifex's symbol, I will say, is a very stylized crown that the Pontifex wears that actually has like these two like pointed horn type, like, you know how some crowns have like points on them. This one has like two very pointed like horn like ones.
Oh, interesting.
And that's the symbol that they wear.
All right, well, just keep an eye out for those ones.
Hello, Luke.
Seth.
What's up?
Is everybody here tonight?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So.
Trying to find a boat.
Oh. Wait, are we at a like? Are we at the town? The dock?
Yeah.
Port of Last Voyages.
Do we know if there's anybody here that has a boat?
We're on our way to talk to him as we speak.
Oh, is he at the bar? He seems like a guy that's going to be at the bar.
You know the logic of D&D too well.
Yeah. Well, I actually have a ship sailing skill in my character's background, so
oh, nice.
I just know what we do as captains.
We were at the bar, did some early morning gambling and drinking, and now we're on the way to the hotel to meet the boat salesperson.
Salesman.
There's somebody who has a boat.
I mean,
But
my
we're
first-
all pretty broke, so I'm not sure.
oh,
I have 14 gold.
well,
Should have gambled more.
I know.
well, why don't, I mean, why are we paying for the boat? Couldn't we just wait until night and slip away with one?
Most
Well,
likely.
the thing is, we haven't even met this fellow, and we don't know what kind of trouble he might be worth if we're asking for it. So I think we might as well try to negotiate, and if that doesn't work, well, we can borrow the boat for a
Bro,
spell.
we haven't even seen him yet. We just want to talk to him.
Hard borrow.
Well, I mean,
And maybe
it's not
they'll
like when
rent
we.
it to us.
Charter it.
That's not bad.
So
Wait, did you say murder it?
Well, charter
Charter
it,
it.
and then,
Oh,
then
charter,
we'll see
you're
what
right.
happens.
But as you move through the city, you start to get the sense that people aren't just watching you from the shadows, and they're starting to get a little bit more bold. At this point, as you're moving through this very hard to navigate city, you notice that you're being followed by two cloaked figures.
Anything particularly interesting about their attire other than cloaks? Anything that makes them stand out from other cloak folk?
Can I do an insight check?
I would say, yes. Give me an insight check, but also give me a perception check. So an insight would be like, what do you notice from their demeanor? The perception would be like, do you notice anything like strange about their clothing in particular? All right, so, Merrick, okay. That perception is really good, Draw. Draw, you see that underneath those cloaks, there's nothing that you notice about their clothing or anything that they're wearing, but you do notice that they are apparently humans. And so far, you haven't seen many in this town. You think that this is mostly this kind of like rough and tumble, like monster type place. Humans are few and far between here. That being said, they do seem like, in addition to being humans, they do seem like they are from the Western Empire, which I guess it would depend on if you've ever been there.
If whispers to the group and just says, should we just confront them, or should we take an alley and kind of ambush them?
Well, yeah, it's a good
see.
question because I'm not sure. They seem to be pretty far out of their way.
Can I
Or do
ask
we just
what
keep
the
going?
implications of them being from the Western Empire?
So the Western Empire, I'm gonna like just move to the big overworld map real quick, just to give you an idea. The Western Empires, you all are approximately here. The Western Empires are here. And so up until like the last, let's say 100 years, the Western Empires was like just a bunch of warring fiefdoms that were not united whatsoever. In the last 100 years, they have united under one banner and have started a very massive imperialist shift. Again, it's one of those things where it's like if you're worldly enough to know that, which let's just say if you're proficient in history, you know that. But if you're worldly enough to know that, you know that any time that there are mysterious figures from the Western Empire, it's likely that they have imperial ambitions, are spies, because they do a great deal with the like spying on other nations, even in the old kingdoms, and are usually very capable. So you don't just find schmucks from the Western Empire wandering around anywhere. Like you usually find very well trained spies who go around gathering information. Why they have any interest in you is not clear, but presuming someone here is proficient in history, You would know all of that. You would know like these guys are not here just to like rob us. There's something else going on.
I don't know. Perhaps we should go ahead and chat for a bit. See what they want, and nothing else. And I pull back my cloak, revealing the cold iron on my hip.
Yarn.
Ooh,
So-
that's scary.
Damn right it is.
So Draw brandish his weapon and wants to talk to them.
Yeah, I guess I'll turn around and kind of like put my hand up and make it known that like we see them. I'll be like, all right, just hold up there, fellas. There's no need to be
So as you kind of confront them, they actually take their cloaks off, and it seems to be like a man and a woman.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
And so they notice that you're ready to turn and face them. They're not being threatening right now, but they say, well, "Hold your weapons. We're not here to fight."
Why are you being all sketchy in your cloaks then?
You surely, this is the woman talking. She says, "You surely have noticed the atmosphere around here. It hardly pays to be direct in such a place."
True. I've had a couple of ales this morning.
The man speaks now, and he says, "My apologies. This is my partner Fox, and I am Quick Iron. We are here on behalf of the Western Empires to study some strange occurrences that have been happening here in the Old Kingdoms. We understand that there has been a proliferation of curses, and we have it on good word that you all are afflicted with these curses."
Kif says, of course. Why do you think Kif speaks in third person? Kif isn't just an asshole.
We've met many people who speak in the third person. Does that mean that they are also cursed?
Could be. If they weren't, those aren't people that Kif would like to hang around with.
That seems like this whole world is cursed right now.
That being as it is, we wanted to monitor you and see what your connection with the Pontifex is. We believe that the Pontifex is someone to be watched, perhaps dealt with. If we can help you with this curse, if you can act as our agents here on behalf of the Western Empires, we could assist you in dethroning the Pontifex.
Are you in for the long haul?
We do not proceed into the Old Kingdoms lightly. Of course we are.
Do I notice if anyone else is watching this conversation? We're just out in the open, right?
Oh, sure.
You are, and actually, someone give me let's say an insight check.
Ooh. 12.
I'm going to move the map back.
Oh, there you go.
Very nice. You notice something very weird. There, it's almost imperceptible, but you're kind of. It's not something that you really see with your eyes as much as you kind of like feel it with your kind of like the hairs on the like the little hairs on your face and the back of your neck. But there's something happening around you. Well, the quills on the back of your neck.
My little scales. I'm
Yes.
sorry. What, Candace?
But there's something happening around you. It's almost like this mental pressure, and you're not sure what it is.
Kif asks if we should take our conversation elsewhere, a little more private.
The woman Fox responds and she says, "This is private as we're going to get, but be assured that it is in fact private." So far, you feel like you are in a different place and a different time. No one's watching you. You don't feel the eyes of the city upon you. Like something's weird.
Yeah.
Everyone
So-
feels this, or just Merrick?
More or less, I would say Merrick. And sorry, I said the hairs because I thought it was Miltiades who made that role.
It says it.
But anyways, Merrick kind of senses it the most and kind of could potentially put words to it. The rest of you are like, "Man, I feel weird. Like I don't understand this feeling."
So let me get this straight here, folks. For our help in possibly overthrowing this Pontifex, you will do what you can to remove this curse that we all are afflicted with.
We believe that it is going to be necessary to undo these knots in the ripples of the world before we can undo the greatest knot, the Pontifex.
So first you remove the curse, and then we can take care of the big knot.
We hope so.
Would
What do
you be
know of
willing
the
to
Pontifex?
remove?
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Would you be willing to remove the curses from all the folks over at the Fen? There's not a lot of them that are cursed as well.
We will
Good
do
folk
what we
too.
can. We've noticed that the Pontifex's curses are not traditional. They do not respond to the normal magical means. We are
Right.
researching the means as we speak, but they seem to be as varied as the enemies of the Pontifex themselves.
Well, for my part, if you can hold up your end of the bargain, I'd say I'm in.
But what just seems to be in it for y'all? You just want to take over and reign over what the Pontifex is, or what is your end goal?
If you're concerned about the Western empires, we are expansionists. We're not going to lie about that. Many have tried to expand into or through the old kingdoms and have failed. It's not what we want right now. But what we do want is not to have an enemy on our border. The Pontifex is likely to become that enemy if we turn a blind eye.
Fair enough.
So it benefits you guys for us to take care of the Pontifex?
Yes,
And do you guys have a ship?
we have some means of conveyance, yes.
That seems oddly cryptic. What kinds of means?
We've been watching you long enough to know that you want a fishing vessel. We have something that is meant more for sailing quickly. It would not do for your purposes. But if you wished for us to take you somewhere, we could. That being said, we think that your destiny or undoing of these curses will tie you to this land for now. Although a quick trip somewhere would not hurt, I suppose.
I still want a ship.
If
What do
a
you-
ship is what you request, we can attempt to procure one for you, but doing so here would be difficult. We'd have to very likely take you somewhere else.
Well, we're on our way.
I've heard that the shipyards of Lopan may in fact be the place you'd like to go. It's not far.
Lopan, you say? Sounds intriguing.
Right.
Back
What
to
what
the-
do you know of this Pontifex? You know what sort of being it really is?
I'm just going to point out, like, you guys are here, and then the country of Lopan is right up here. I don't
Okay.
know why they called it Lopan. I don't know if maybe, like, the writers were watching Big Trouble in Little China.
I know.
Like, if you notice, there's an island called Zai and an island called Yoda up here. That can't be a coincidence. But anyhow, that's an aside. And I'm sorry, Miltiades, you asked something and I totally.
Oh, do you know what kind of being this Pontifex is?
We have not as yet been able to discern what the Pontifex is, or how they have managed to maintain this level of power.
Any recent whereabouts?
We only know as much as anyone, and that the stronghold of the Pontifex is somewhere in the mountains, the so-called spine of the world.
Oh.
And I don't know if you guys are seeing my pings on the map, but
Yeah.
all the way zoomed out.
But so no one knows what the Pontifex is or where it derives its power from, but it seems connected to the spine of the world.
This time the man responds, quick. We'll call him Quick Iron. He says, "We believe that the Pontifex has found some font of power, maybe a nexus, maybe some other geographical location that contains magical energies. But that is where they are. They are in the mountain range that legend says grew up out of the anger of the old ones as they were put to sleep. If that has something to do with it, we don't know. We've consulted on many different religions. None of them have come up with satisfactory answers. But that is why we are here. Where our augurs and historians have failed, we wish to see it with our own eyes and try and decide for ourselves.
You know me, I'm definitely for taking down the Pontifex.
Regarding your search for a boat, we know that you are going to go and speak with a gentleman. Do not mind our intrusion into your affairs. He may provide you one. You may wish to listen to his request.
Fair enough.
When Quick Iron stops saying that, then you feel the pressure lifted again. Merrick kind of notices it more than anyone else. Everyone else is kind of like, it's like when your ears pop in the airplane kind of.
What did Quick Iron just say? That he wants us to experience it ourselves? Did I miss that?
To go talk to this gentleman about whatever the boat is.
He wants us to go talk to him.
Because he thinks that whatever the request he's going to make might be worth your while.
Oh, okay. Well, you certainly seem to know a lot about this person to be so sure of that. What is it you're not telling us about this town? Perhaps this gentleman you speak of.
Well, we do our homework. We've been in this town for a few days and we have derived information that we saw fit. The gentleman in question is Trenton Milstead. He'll give you all of the information you need from him, but as we mentioned, we think that your fate is intertwined with his to the degree that he may provide you the boat.
His name is Trenton Milstead.
Yeah, and I put it in the chat as well.
No. Well, I said, might as well go ahead and talk to a man about a boat.
Kip agrees with Draw.
Fox and Quick Iron, they say we shall speak with you again soon when the time is right. And there's a rush of wind that's inexplicably kind of like rustles everything up. And when the wind is gone, so are they.
Oh.
Kip guesses they'll just contact us when they want. Like, how do we get a hold of them?
Yeah, it's mighty odd. But then again, I ain't never seen no crocodile quite that big before. So, what the hell?
It was a weird place.
Yeah, that is true.
So with that being said and done, you all make your way to the hotel. Curiously enough, you feel like, at least for a while after that, you're not bothered by any of the locals, and you don't feel any of that kind of like weird social pressure from everyone around just kind of being jerks because you're outsiders. But when you get to the hotel, you're greeted by a human concierge. And it looks like this hotel actually is like fully staffed with humans as well. Very weird again, but you've heard of things like this where humans, being fragile as they are, kind of band together and stay in their own little groups, especially where there are places of perceived danger. And so this is one such place, these little conclaves of humans that tend to just kind of cluster up like hares in a bath drain. And the concierge just sees all of you and kind of furrows his brow and says, how may I help you?
We'd be looking for some rooms and perhaps a gentleman.
Well, the rooms I'm not sure if I can help you with. The gentleman, I suppose it depends on who.
And for
Trenton Milstead.
You have business with him.
Correct.
The concierge just kind of like narrows his eyes and like his upper lip twitches and his little like pencil thin mustache just kind of contorts a little bit. There's like a 10 seconds of silence that lasts just a little bit too long, and he says, I will go fetch him for you. And he turns around, and as he walks back into the hotel, you see these relatively burly human men come out, and it looks like they're just kind of out here to intimidate you, just out here to like look tough. They're dressed with these like vests that are just a little too small and these bow ties that are a little too big. And they've got these little bowler hats, which are the fashion, in some parts of the world. But they're just kind of looking down or up at you as your height may imply, but trying to stare you down and just kind of like put up a good front. That being said, they're just out there for a few minutes while Trenton makes his way out, and you see this corpulent but happy-looking man kind of bounce out of the hotel, and he sees all of you and is like delighted, and he kind of like with a little gesture waves the men away, and they're a little shocked and surprised, but they walk back in almost like their feelings are hurt. In fact, you see one of them just like look back like 2 or 3 times, just not happy with the situation. I must have one of those outfits. Yes. But this large and happy man, he's wearing like a fine silk shirt and this kind of like poofy stole, and these big kind of parachute pants. He's just dressed like for comfort and fashion, which you kind of have to admire if you are in for that kind of human flair. It's certainly not a neck frill or a colorful fur pattern, but it'll do in a pinch. But he goes over, and if you allow him to, he shakes every one of your hands, and he's like, oh, I am so happy to see all of you here. Please tell me that you are answering one of my many flyers that I deposited around town.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't need to go over the details then.
Well, maybe a little bit.
Just to specify which one.
Well, let me tell you first. Please come in. And he walks you past the maitre d', and the maitre d' is just kind of like scowling at all of you as you walk in, like he's not happy that you. But he's apparently letting it go because there's something about shoot, there's something about Trenton Milstead that seems to override whatever bias that this concierge has. And so Trenton walks you into this hotel, and it's very fancy. In fact, you think it has been renovated from whatever it was when the dwarves were here. And it looks very nice, made potentially from one solid piece of marble, or at least it looks as though it was. The lights in here are all magical, so there's like continual flame spells everywhere to make sure that everything's well lit and looks fancy. And you even see a group of kobolds that seem to be here, their sole purpose to clean constantly. So you see these kobolds with like push brooms and rags, and they're just like a little swarm of like if you had a little swarm of lizard-like Roombas just going everywhere and cleaning, that's kind of what they are. At least in appearance, you're sure that they're more intelligent than Roombas. But he takes you into what appears to be like a little indoor cafe bar type area. And there's actually another Warforged here behind the bar is a bartender. But he says, please sit down, order what you like. It is all on me for right now, and I would very much like to discuss the terms of our deal. But you go first.
Can I do like an Arcana check to see what kind of magic is running all this?
Go ahead.
Oh,
You're pretty sure that they must have some kind of a sorcerer or wizard on staff to maintain all of the magical lights, but everything else is conventional. The cleaning is conventional. The food is conventionally cooked, and the booze here are the best you're going to find anywhere. So if you want booze, you're going to want to get it here, because they actually have actual beer. They have food that's probably not going to make you sick. They have liquor that didn't sit out anywhere in the warm sunlight, and things like that. But he's just sitting very happily and just like steepling his fingers excitedly and waiting for you all to talk. He's like, please, I'm sure you have all kinds of things to tell me about the flyer that you read.
Are we now talking to the ship captain?
Well, you're talking to the person who allegedly has a
merchant,
ship
it
for
seems
sale.
like.
Oh, so he sells ships.
It would seem to be the case.
Okay.
So Ish, did none of us end up seeing any sort of fires around?
Yeah. Can Kiff run to the bathroom to see if he sees something?
Did you
Post it
say
up.
fires?
Flyer.
Flyers.
Oh, flyers. No. And so I'll give this to you for free. Normally it would be like an insight check. You think that he went and put flyers everywhere, and then everyone else just took them and like crumpled them up, threw them away, tore them into little pieces, ate them. The kind of place this town is, they would see that and immediately be like, nope, you're not advertising here, buddy. You're a human. We hate you. We hate whatever it is you're doing, and we hate like this, like this grassroots like advertisement, BS that you're throwing in our face.
Yeah.
But you don't think
right.
you would have found one if you tried, unless you tried really hard.
Okay. Well, I'll whisper to everybody else. Honestly, I don't know what the hell we're gonna say to this man. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
We're
Flyers?
interested in your wares. You seem like a salesman.
Yes. Well, I mean, no, but go on.
We heard that there may be some sort of ship that you may be able to sell or rent to us. We're looking for a vessel.
Well, a vessel, yes, but it's not for sale. And he just kind of like sits there with his.
Is the vessel here in this harbor?
Yes, of course. It would have to be.
And as I would talk to him, I'd like to get a little bit handsy with him, you know, moving things off his shoulders, just kind of getting him comfortable for what inevitably is going to happen.
Okay. He's very jocular, and so he like goes along with it. He's like, "Oh yes, yes, of course,
So the ship is here.
yes, yes,
And
it is."
Is it a fast ship?
I would say it is a modest ship of average means. It'll get you where you need to go. It is fairly good sized.
And how well armed?
Could see a group such as yourselves being able to take care of all of the ship's operations. You wouldn't need to hire any additional crew.
Oh, wonderful. And what's the ship called?
Well, where I come from, it's bad form to tell you the name of a ship that you may own so that you are not influenced in the naming. But I know that my ways are not your ways. I could be influenced to tell you what I've named to my ship.
All right. Well, I simply asked so that when we go out to take a look at it, we know which ship is the correct one.
Oh, of course. It is the Radiant Lufa.
The Radiant Lufa.
The Radiant Lufa. All right.
And is it a well-armed ship?
Well, I wouldn't call it that. It's only as well armed as the people on it. You know, the new invention of these black powder weapons, as flashy as they are, a bit garish. They also cause quite a bit of noise, and not really my style.
Right, that seems like a bit of a, pardon me, but a bit of a cop-out answer. It's as well armed as the people who are armed?
I'm saying that
we would be the crew.
Yes, the crew. If you yourselves are well armed, you can very easily defend it. You are adventurers, right?
If only one of us knew how to captain a ship.
I do.
I don't see anyone here who could possibly do that.
But I'm right here.
Is someone saying something? Do you hear that, Multiades?
I just don't know who could. I don't think I could do it.
I'm a captain. The name's Captain Edward Crow. While I'm talking, and we're at a bar, right?
Yeah.
No. Or are we?
I mean, it's kind of like a little
hotel
bar cafe kind of place. Yeah.
So would I be able to buy this man a drink?
Yeah. So I mean, he's already offered to pay for anything you want. So he would try and pay for it, but if you wanted to, you could buy him a drink anyway.
I want to, butter him up, and at the same time, I'm pickpocketing him.
Okay. Yeah, and I was about to mention, not only could you pickpocket him, but there's all kinds of stuff around here. Silverware. There's like, lamps that are, worth quite a bit. There's even like goofy shit on the walls, like you could imagine it like, Hard Rock Cafe or Bennigan's or something.
It's a shenanigans?
Oh.
So do I roll sleight of hand to pickpocket him?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, what did I get? 23?
Yeah, you absolutely do. I'll say that you actually pull away a gem that's about this big. It's like as big as your eye. We'll say that it is a paragon. It's probably worth about 150 gold.
Okay. At this point, I would like to call the bartender over and say, good keeper, drinks for my good friend are on me for the night, and I'm going to hand him this gem. And okay. I would like to talk with my crew. I say, this sounds like a fine vessel. Enjoy the drinks for the night. I think we just want to take a quick look at this before we decide on any kind of purchases.
I believe he said it wasn't for sale.
Yeah, he's not selling it. He's asking us to man it.
Oh,
I'm starting to think perhaps you didn't read the flyer.
I did.
Well, it was poorly worded.
Well, nevertheless, me and the crew want to go take a look and see what we're getting into.
I only have one request if you are willing to hear me out. It's fine. You didn't read the flyer. I put a lot of time into it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But what I wanted to speak with you, and it is fortuitous, if you came to me with no assistance of any flyer, perhaps it was meant to be. I merely wish to give this boat away if you perform for me one task.
And what would that task be? Was it on the flyer? I'm so sorry.
It is fine. It's fine. It's fine. It is. It's really. But the task, I have a map that may lead you to a tomb in this very city. If you would retrieve from me what is in that tomb, if it is still there, I will give you the boat free of charge.
Well,
It's not there. We already looked.
let me round up. Let me have a private meeting with my crew, and we'll decide there. So guys, can I say we're private now?
Sure.
We can do this map thing, but I think I got a way to get this thing without doing that.
Well, you just stole that gem. We could buy a boat with the size of that.
I'm pretty sure we can buy a boat with that.
Oh, I gave that to the bartender to pay for his drinks. That should keep him busy all night. We're going to take the boat.
Wait. The gentleman that already had a gem worth 150 gold, you're going to buy him drinks?
Yeah, he's sitting at the bar drinking all night for free, and we go out. We take the flaming loofah.
What this map intrigues me though.
Loofah.
Map could lead to treasure.
See what the tomb has in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit under here. It sounded like.
And not to mention, my friend, if you're so keen on stealing a boat, I have a feeling nobody else is going to come calling to this fella to see about his boat. Being is there are no fucking flyers anywhere around here.
Does he need us to bring back the contents of the tomb or just tell him what it was?
No, he wants what's in there. In fact, I'll say he elaborated slightly more. He says, I think that there is an axe that was stored there. I need it. It is very important.
I'm gonna.
What was that, Luke?
Why?
Oh, go ahead, Jen. Sorry.
Why is the axe important, Trenton?
Well, you see, I am in search of a friend. That friend, as I understand, has been lost in the Mount Nimra region. I must have that axe, or my expedition will not last.
Now, guys, there might be treasure in the tomb, but there's definitely death in the tomb. Now, we could just skip right past this tomb, be out to sea, boom, done. No danger.
Why don't we
You
sleep
do
on
realize-
it and you, good luck. We'll see what comes up in the morning.
Well, and I gotta say, you say you're a ship's captain, but there is always danger out on the sea. Like, you do know that, right?
The sea is.
Are you actually a ship's captain? Have you ever
am.
actually been in a boat? Are you sure?
I just don't have a boat right now, but I am a captain.
Right. Okay.
I
Mine
think
is captain.
Why don't you
Name is
captain over a
Captain?
couple of beers here? I'm thirsty. Kip's thirsty.
I think it's worth seeing this axe in this tomb.
there's secrets under this city that we need to look at.
Oh, I agree.
Kip asks
Plus-
why
plus-
you don't have the means. Trenton, why do you not have the means to do this yourself?
He just says, well, you must understand, my expedition is a very particular one. I'm equipped for a very specific task, and that is surviving giants. I'm not equipped for tussling in dungeons. It was short-sighted of me to equip myself as thus, but when you set out like this in search of a dear friend, it's important that you not tally. I came out here with all speed, but this is the one thing that's keeping me from advancing. I've been here 3 days, and it's felt like 3 days too long. I don't wish to wait much longer before something might happen to my dear friend.
Again, though, why can't you retrieve the axe?
As mentioned, everything I have on me and my associates are large weapons meant to fight giants, not meant for small dungeon areas.
I'll do it for one of those outfits that your soldiers are wearing.
Oh, well, no, done.
Oh, all right. So instead of just getting the free boat, we're going to go and brave ourselves into a tomb of the undead to get an axe that somebody else wasn't able to get. All right.
Hey,
Well,
all right,
better plan.
Crow. Do you not remember that those folks earlier said that the task at hand to get used to the boat would be very much worth our while? Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think you were trying to steal something off in the corner.
I'll sweeten the deal if it helps you out. Anything else you find in this tomb is yours. I merely want the axe.
Oh,
Does this
all right,
axe
that
have a
sounds fair.
name?
Oh.
Well,
Oh,
there's many names for it throughout history. It's a very storied axe.
Oh.
But some call it the Ogre Slayer.
Oh, yes. Let's go get Plague Bringer, the Child Killer, for this guy instead of just getting a free boat.
Who's your friend?
Well, again, these are all details that are largely personal, but I have no need to hide them from you. You see, my friend is a noted historian and author by the name of Rystrom Kedges.
Read his works.
Bullshit.
Can you do the name?
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to look it up because it's a doozy.
And is he being held captive?
I think he is.
By giants.
That is what the augurs have told me. Sorry, give me 1 second while I check the spelling on this so I don't mess it up. Shoot. Of course, I can't spell it, so I'm having a hard time finding it. That's okay. I will just peruse my shelf of wonders. There we are.
What? Wait, what's this guy's name again? Sorry. Oh.
It's in the Roll20, but his name is Rystrom Kedges.
Gotcha. Famous author.
Mm-hmm. He actually is fairly well known. Like, it's another one of those where if you are proficient in history, if you're proficient in, I don't know, if you have any kind of a background in like, if you're well read, if you're like a sage background, if you kind of have like a worldly knowledge, you would know who this guy was. It would be like a David Attenborough type. He goes all over the world and writes about like countries that people have never been to within certain areas. Talks about different cultures that people don't typically talk about. Even goes to ancient ruins sometimes to like see if he can find a good history on them, and has even allegedly found pages out of the the Book of Dragonright, which is kind of like a weird history book / Bible that is basically incomplete no matter where you find it. But that's a tale for another time.
Okay. And how are we supposed, since I think I know where this is all going, how do we get into this crypt?
I have a map. It tells you everything you need to know.
It tells us everything we need to know that you won't do. All right.
What do you think, friends?
Free ship.
I'm intrigued.
Well, frankly, I think that we should take up our new friend on his offer and give him a hand and actually earn our keep of the ship.
I agree.
Tell you what, I will go one step further. If you have equipment that is more suitable for a tomb that you can lend us, even for that, for such a low price, I will let you have the ship. You would only need to let us borrow it long enough to go in and retrieve this axe. You could even go in after we did. We would not take another thing.
Well, that doesn't sound like nearly as much fun.
No.
So he really, he really isn't going himself just because he doesn't have the right tools.
That would appear to be the case.
Oh shit!
Like,
sorry.
at least his story seems to be that he like got on a ship, bought all of these things for fighting giants, paid a mercenary crew to come with him, and then just came to this port because it was possibly the closest he could get to the country of giants without like just running into giants themselves. And he's, as soon as he can, he's going to set out from here into Mount Nimrod.
Where's that crew, that mercenary crew you came with?
They're staying here. That's out of character. But you can go talk to them too. They're just kind of like hanging out in their rooms and whatnot, and like ordering a bunch of room service. But like, just if you saw one of them, like they're equipped with these like giant slayer swords that are like, 1.5 times as tall as they are. Giant like long pikes that are like probably twice as tall as they are. All of these things that are the curious thing is that the Western Empire is known specifically for making sport of giant slaying. There used to be colonies of giants on the Western Empire continent or like region, and they were wiped out. And not like, oh, we have to fight these giants because they're cramping our style. It's just like, this is fun. Let's go fight giants. It's like people going on safari. It's horrible. It's terrible. But in doing so, all of this nobility that went to like fight giants with these big mercenary groups and all of these like giant fighting weapons, they mastered the skill of fighting giants, at least on a small scale, and they wiped out the giant population. If they didn't kill all of the giants in the Western Empire continent, they drove them out because they realized that they were getting killed one by one, group by group, tribe by tribe.
And this is the group of people that we're talking to.
Not yes and no. Probably he hired a mercenary group that has experience with fighting giants, but this guy in particular, he's not like, I gotta kill giants, or at least you don't know that he is. He's like, I gotta go into this giant territory and find my friend. At least you think he has a noble purpose, but you don't know that 100%.
I'm gonna cast a message at old. Let's see, Edward. I'm just say, we may have to just keep this axe and steal the ship.
Well, I like that.
I don't trust this guy for a second.
Don't you want your suit?
Oh, I'm gonna get that too.
Miltiades, do you want to try and persuade the rest of your group? It sounds like you've at least got one person on your side.
I'll kind of do the same thing for everyone. I'll have to. Yep. Yeah, I'll just point at each one kind of individually, subtly. So I think we should, head down. But if we need to, we might have to keep this thing too.
Kif gives the nod.
Cool.
He asks Trenton though. Kif asks Trenton to throw in a couple of those nice bottles of Crevassier.
Yeah, eagerly he agrees.
Oh man, this guy's very, very open to giving us a lot of stuff to do this.
And you're a fool for giving away a gem to feed this guy booze all night who's already buying it for us.
Listen,
Take it, steal it back.
I mean, that's the bartender's. I don't need it back. I don't want to rob the bartender. He seems like a good guy.
So anyways, I mean, he sets up this deal with y'all. You absolutely can go out, get this axe, keep it, like try and steal the ship, all of that if you want. But I would say whatever you do, you should probably at least do so like unanimously. I think there should be a quorum about it if that's what you're going to do. So we could say that you at least nominally agree and then set out and then have a discussion elsewhere and try and decide. But let's just kind of.
If this guy's really saving his friend, we can totally give him the axe.
Should we go find the mercenaries and see if what their perception of this Trenton guy is?
I feel like all of the ways that everyone was watching us and everything noticeably lessened once Trenton started talking to us. I feel like we should go get the axe and give it to him. Then we'll get our boat. Then we'll get what we were after.
Well, we should at least get the axe and cross that bridge when we come to it.
I'd say there will be plenty of time for Grand Theft Boat in our future.
Yeah,
I think if we make a deal with this man, we better keep it.
And by the way, so that if any of you are wondering why is this man willing to give away a boat, he does throw in the detail that, well, you see, if I were to leave a boat here, do you think that it would last? It would be burnt down or stolen straight away. So at least if I give it to someone who needs it, it would be better. So that would have been his explanation for that. Presuming then that you at least go to this tomb and follow the map. Shoot. Oh, sorry. Okay. Presuming that you go to this tomb and follow the map, let me go ahead and lay down said map. And we'll go from there.
I am down one spell slot. Can we do a quick long rest before we head out? Or?
We're all level 1, right?
Sorry. It was assumed last time that we had one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And we're level 1, correct? That is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. If we had one at some point, then I am good. After we left the fen.
Yeah. I think we got a long rest at some point in there. Yeah, well, why don't we see about this here axe, and then perhaps we can decide what we want to do beyond that. If we want to betray an oath that we made, is that what we do then? If we want to steal a ship that is freely given, perhaps we can do that.
I just think that
Then
we'll know more when we see this tomb and this axe.
Yeah. I just get the feeling that this Trenton's not telling us the whole story.
Yeah, this isn't, and that's not a free ship. That's a ship for an axe into a tomb.
Well, who knows what else we might find down there?
Skeletons.
What, you afraid of some bones?
Yeah, think
Yes.
so.
So, I'll say that you probably had a conversation as you were heading towards this tomb. It does take you through some winding tunnels and some different spaces within the city. Places which, by the way, you would have found without the map. As the city is itself a spider web of tunnels and collapsed buildings and so on. You were able to surprisingly find this place with the help of the map. And you're sure that someone must have created this map probably within the last dozen years or so, because it has accounted for a lot of different things that have happened since much longer since then. You think that whoever made it knew that the axe was there and created this map, and for some reason didn't think to take it. So it's at least the map is suspicious. But you arrive here. I don't know if y'all see the opening entryway kind of area.
Yep.
If you're on a
Mhm.
map and it's just black, maybe scroll down.
Should we put ourselves there?
Please do.
Oh, I can't do anything. I don't know what to do there, actually. I don't know. I can't. It doesn't seem like I have a icon I can drag out.
Let's see. I have one for you, but I don't know that we've given you a proper character
Yeah.
icon.
Oh, I just can't. When I go to the journal thing, it's completely blank for me.
Weird. Let me try something real quick.
It might be because did I not add myself to the campaign maybe or something?
Let's see. I added you, but I didn't give you control over that.
Oh, cool.
So you should have it now.
Got it. Yeah.
Then you can you can change your name and you can give yourself an icon if you like.
Sweet.
So when you get here, you see a riddle scribbled on the wall in Dwarven, and it's actually translated for you on the map. And it says, I am the home of treasure. I am the icon of greed. I am what you trip over, and I am what you need.
Wait, say that again.
I am the home of treasure. I am the icon of greed. I am what you trip over, and I am what you need.
I'm the icon.
Of treasure, greed. I am what you trip over, and I am what you need.
So it's I am the home of treasure. I am the icon of greed. I am what you trip over. I am what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Crack.
Yes.
Icon of greed.
The home of treasure, huh? A chest, mountain.
Oh, wait.
What you trip over.
Trip over your tongue.
Well, that's certainly interesting.
But
Or do you
wouldn't
trip over your words?
Home of treasure.
Man,
I'll be honest, folks. I'm stumped.
thinking about this?
Someone can give me either a history check or an intelligence check if they're not proficient in history.
Intelligence might be my weakest one.
Ouch.
Crap.
Yeah, no.
Okay. We can figure this out. I just have to. Okay.
Someone did get like I wanted. If anyone else wants to roll, they can. But Kif's got it.
Okay, nice.
Kif, the answer is land.
Land.
And you think you have to say it in Dwarven? Does anyone here speak Dwarven?
I believe the answer is land.
Don't speak that now. And is this a door that we're trying to get through?
I'm
Yes,
sorry, the answer is what?
land.
Land.
Well, now that you say it, yeah, of course, that makes total sense.
None of it. Wait,
I don't think that makes sense.
Miltiadis, aren't you close to a dwarf? Aren't gnomes like kind of related?
I speak common and gnomish. I can speak to animals.
I'll say that there's probably like a borrow word from Dwarven and Gnomish that is land. So if you speak it in Gnomish, it should be fine. So land is where you dig for treasure. Land is what you trip over. Land is what people who are greedy want. They want to acquire acquisition of land, and it is what you need. You need to live off the land. And this is an especially Dwarven answer. You could interpret land as either like, overland terrain or like underground as well.
When you put it that way, fair. Yep.
But yes, so you, Miltiades, you give the answer, and the door opens
Kif, yeah.
into a dwarven building of some sort. This is like already underground, by the way. But you see some smoldering coals on a hot brazier. Somehow they've been burning for hundreds of years potentially. Not brightly, not like, blazing, but still. There's also doors on the top left and top right of this room.
Should we check for traps?
Yes.
Yeah. Perception. Can I do perception?
I would say investigation if you want
Investigation.
to check. Let's see, Edward Crow. You notice that there seems to be a very thin, like almost like a fishing wire between doors, where if you open one, it'll trip the trap on the other door.
Could I reach it with a sword?
You want to like try and undo basically the trap on both doors?
Yeah.
I would allow that with a sleight of hand.
All right.
I'll give him an inspiration.
Okay.
Sweet. Sleight of hand. I mean, my sleight of hand's a +6. It's pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. Didn't even need it.
No worries. So yeah, you're able to find like the mechanism, and you kind of jam it before you open one of the doors. But the question is, which door now do you open?
Left.
Well, there it is. We'll open the left, and I'm going to step back and let somebody do it.
A wise man once said, "Always go left." It opens. What's that?
Oh, yeah. If old Crow didn't want to, Kif will be the
door
Yeah.
opener.
yes, yeah, the guinea pig.
So you open into a room that appears to have at one point been a dwarven barracks, which might mean this building was at one point like a fortress, but not necessarily. Dwarves kind of naturally slept in the barrack style when they could. Like it was kind of like a clan sort of thing. A clan would have like a living space, and they would have barracks, and they would kind of live like a military unit, even if it was just like a completely familial situation. They were always ready for war, and allegedly the reason for that was anytime they would dig deep, there was a chance that they might disturb something underneath the earth that would require fighting. Most people chalk that up to paranoia, but those who knew that the dwarves were only a little paranoid and mostly
Yeah.
justified.
Every once in a while, you run into a Balrog. So
but here there appeared to be skeletons in about every other bed, dwarven skeletons, as you might imagine. And as you walk through, out of the corner of your eye, you see little glimpses of something, glowing spirits. But when you turn, it's gone.
This is in the barracks,
In the barracks.
and that fire is burning, like the other one.
No, actually, that one's out.
Oh man, so this fire has been burning for a very long time.
The one down here, the one over here, I'm gonna kind of blot out because it's dead.
Should we
was,
investigate that magical fire?
Yeah. It's been burning since the earth's been turning.
As you reach over, you feel that the coals are warm, but not hot, not like burn to the touch hot. Do you want to pick one up?
Kif does.
Yeah, pick it up, Kif.
All right, Kif, you pick one up. It's
Hot
as
potato.
hot. Yeah, I was gonna say exactly that. It's as hot as a hot potato out of an oven. So it's not gonna like scald. It's not gonna like give you second degree burns. But if you held it long enough, it would be really hot. If anyone here had like fire resistance, you think you could hold it comfortably. But
Here,
it's
Crow,
just-
catch.
I have
Immediately
I have
dodge.
mage hand. I could grab one out.
Yeah, absolutely. You can grab one out, no problem. You think that these coals have been enchanted or perhaps excavated from some magical area. They hold magic, potentially from the elemental plane of fire or someplace tied to it. But you think that they will forever be this temperature. You could take them with you into the Arctic or some other frozen region, and they would keep you modestly warm.
So we have no place to put them.
Yeah. Try and stay away from the arcanic.
Cool. You guys want to keep going through the barracks or try the other door?
Well, when we saw these skeleton dwarves inside of this barracks, did they look like they died of like old age or were killed or?
That would require a medicine check.
All right. How close to the skeletons do we have to be to do a medicine check?
Like between 5 and 10 feet, I would say, charitably.
Kif, you can do medicine.
Yep.
I have a +4.
Ah,
Oh, nice.
yes, you do it.
All right. Anybody else before I announce the results?
Yeah, I'm not getting near it.
Sure. Nice.
All right.
Wow.
Miltiadi,
Nice, Miltiadi.
you kind of stand on someone's shoulders. I'll let you decide who, and like look at these corpses with a good bird's eye view. And you realize that all of these dwarves did in fact
And on Mirek's shoulder.
of what is apparently old age. They just one day they laid down here and then they were just they were no longer meant for this world and passed into an afterlife. Although I will tell you that the one over here does in fact seem to have at least what is the remains of a rusted knife in their rib cage.
Yeah, must have died of old age. Well,
Okay. Well, they don't look like they're gonna come to life and attack us quite yet.
does anything look valuable in this room?
That would require an investigation check.
Kif might want that rusty knife.
I might.
All right. Edward, no luck so far.
Well,
Crow, I hope you're a better captain than an investigator.
you know what? My lack of ability to investigate might be what's keeping us alive.
Draw, you kind of poke
Oof,
around
nothing.
a couple of places. You don't see anything of interest. Miltiades, same thing.
Well, damn.
All
And
you seem to have been kicking up is dust. Kif, you take one of the beds that does not have a skeleton in it, and you kind of pull the mattress up, and underneath there appears to be a full set of dwarven scale mail. What appears to be a finely made dwarven axe. It's just a short axe. It's let's call it a battle axe. Not the one that you're looking for, you think, but just, a fine example of one. And you also see what appears to be a very short dwarven battle standard. That is to say, like a banner that one would take into battle with them. All of this worth potentially hundreds, if not potentially thousands of gold to a collector, but also useful. Like dwarven stuff has been known to stand the test of time. And at least if anyone of the right size were to wear the armor, it would be very functional. And the axe, though somewhat short, would function just as fine in the hands of anyone here.
Cool. Can we tell what kind of knife was stabbed into the dwarf?
Yeah, I would say it doesn't take a lot of investigation to do that. You look, and it appears to be a knife. It has been, well, let me think. I'll let you have,
More specifically, is it like an elvish knife?
Oh, that's a really good question. Are you proficient in history?
I am not.
Would you want to give me an intelligence check?
Sure.
With your medicine check, though, I will say it was poisoned.
It was poisoned.
Mm.
18.
I'm beginning to think that they didn't die of old age.
I don't know. Poison ages you pretty quick.
Um,
It's like the sun.
If
But-
you happen to know why when I do investigation, I get 2 numbers.
let's see. That is odd. 9, rolling 16.
Because it happened earlier as well.
Give it
You-
advantage.
You might be set for automatically rolling advantage, though I'm not sure why that would be.
Oh yeah, that's up in your toolbar. I figured that out a while ago.
Yeah, that was fucking me up last time.
Let's see. Go to the very top where you see on your search bar, you're gonna see the B with the dice on it, or the dice with the B on it, I mean.
On my search bar for what?
For your browser. So let me see.
It's one of your extensions on Chrome. Or are you using Chrome?
Yes.
Do you have it displaying your extensions? Do you see like a little puzzle?
Yep, and I have a Beyond 20.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You click that one of the top one says whisper
Type of
roll.
roll.
Then the next says type of roll.
Yep. Mine said
so-
normal roll.
Oh, weird.
And that's fine. You're gonna want to scroll down and click on more options. And it's gonna bring up this whole thing.
Yep.
Let's see.
Never whisper, always whisper monster rolls.
Display, find custom keys, stick keys. So I'm looking through this just as you are, because I know there's just this plethora of different things. Formulas in D&D Beyond, roll buttons, stat blocks, components. Weird. Okay, no, I don't see anything that would necessarily denote that. So I don't know why it's rolling specifically, because you said it was specifically with the investigation.
Yep.
That's bizarre. I'll look into the possible cause of that. Usually there's like forums and things where people say, hey, this is happening, and someone will say, oh, this is how you fix it. So I'll investigate the investigation problem and see if we can't fix that potentially before the end of the session.
No.
But let's see. There was another thing. Oh, Miltiades. Yes, Yes, this was an elven dagger.
Okay, cool. Oh, monsters.
I'm making the elves out to be quite the villains in this.
It's like they say that the orcs and the goblins are monsters, but really, it's the dwarves and the elves that ruin this world.
Oh God, another racist thing from Dr. Toulouse.
Yeah.
And it's a
So
poisoned elven dagger.
you're pretty sure that that's more or less the only thing of worth here if you were to take it away with you. There's other things here, other bits of military paraphernalia, but nothing that would necessarily catch anyone's
Is the
attention.
axe the axe?
No, this is not the axe. Although there's a small chance it may be enchanted, the one that you just found, but you don't think it's the one. In fact, the map you have actually has a picture of the axe head, so you know, like, to match it up. And this one doesn't match up.
Cool.
By the way, Erston made the same Billy Joel joke about the brazier.
Oh.
Nice.
But,
I guess should we go north, or do you guys want to keep going through this room?
Does that look like there's a door up ahead of us?
Yeah.
yeah, there's two doors in this particular room. So there's a door here and a door here. I don't know if they're properly displaying, but that's where they are.
Yeah. I say we check the one up and to the right.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yes, go the Miteful. I guess do you want to check that one for any traps as well. Oh, you'll be fine.
But yes, let us check for traps on all the doors.
Go ahead and do exactly that. Give me an investigation.
Oh, it's not sleight of hand. Damn.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice.
So you do notice that there is a trap on this. There actually appears to be a dwarven rune on it, which is unusual. Dwarves haven't used runes for hundreds, if not thousands of years. But you think that if you were not to very carefully undo the power of the rune, it would hurt you in some way, and you're not sure how.
Beyond my skill.
Yeah, bloody magic.
It's not beyond the ability of a thief or someone so skilled to undo, but the consequences for failure are great. If you roll low, you'll trigger the trap.
Do it.
Well, let's move on.
Get backs away nice and slow.
We try this one?
You want to investigate that door?
Yeah, anyone else want to try it?
Sure.
Yeah, my investigation's pretty trash.
I'll give it a shot.
Um,
Mine's not bad.
This too, yeah.
There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Couple of.
So with your combined efforts, you managed to open this door. There's not really anything negative about it. However, it was locked at one point, but some jostling just kind of opens the door as whatever mechanism has rotted away from some time ago. And it leads to a hallway that goes on for what feels like hundreds of feet if you wish to explore it. Do you want to go all the way down this hallway?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I say that sounds fine.
There's a curious breeze coming from the end of the hallway, which is unusual. You also feel a pressure, not an unnatural pressure like you felt with Fox and Quick Iron, but like an actual kind of like some of you may have like gone spelunking or like deep into the earth, and it's like a weird air pressure. But as you continue down this hallway, you follow it for some ways, and it empties out into a massive, let's call it a geofront. This appears to be a massive underground area that is kind of dome shaped. And you think that this was at one point one of the most profitable mines that the dwarves had in this area, and it seems to be, at least from this vantage point, completely accessible. If people knew that this was here, it would potentially cause a gold rush of sorts.
So when we look in here, we see it's like filled with gold, or what's
So you kind of come in at the top of this like massive cavern that is filled with like gemstones. Like the walls are glowing with these gemstones. You think if you like spent a year, you might get all of the gemstones out of here.
Are there any within like reach of me right now?
Calm down,
give me
Crow.
a perception check.
Crow's all jumped up.
Yeah, I don't know.
These gemstones might be cursed.
Yeah,
Never
I
heard
think
of
there's a
Latin?
reason these are still here.
Crow, you find a nice tennis ball sized gemstone within reach. Do you reach out for it?
I say to the group, I say, "You're right. We shouldn't touch these. Let's move on." And once they turn around, I'm going to steal it.
All right. I want a strength athletics because this thing is embedded. You have to like rip it out of the earth.
So a strength, and athletics.
You reach out for it, and you're basically like reaching over a ledge. You fall and are hanging on to this gem. Do you call out for help?
No.
I'm gonna give you one more chance to do a strength athletics. If you do a well enough job, you can swing your legs back over to the ledge and pull this thing out. If not, you're gonna fall quite some ways.
Shit.
Oh, brother.
Too bad no one can give you an inspiration, thief.
So
Wow.
you fall about a good 20 feet and catch yourself on another gem. You can now climb your way out if you want to with another strength athletics, or try and dislodge this gem.
Okay, I'm going to try and okay, how far down is the rest of the way?
About 100 feet,
And if I dislodge this gem, am I just going to fall 100 feet?
probably.
Oh, then no.
It's worth it.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Why don't you go ahead and steal
Climb
some
out.
more?
You're basically like rock
It's a
climbing.
curse.
It's like the most expensive rock climbing experience ever. Every handhold is a
All right.
a priceless gem.
I'm going to yell for help. It just, I tripped.
See,
Oh,
the riddle
Jesus.
came true.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Kif hears him, but just yells out, "Oh, what's that?"
Sorry, it was dark and I was distracted.
Kif wants a wager. He
You have
just
a rope?
Let's see.
I do, but I got these little rat hands. I can't really throw it too far.
Give it here.
Actually,
Militov.
don't.
You
Wait.
just
Oh yeah,
got-
no, I have rope. Yeah, we'll throw
I
it
have
down.
a rope.
I'll throw it down.
All right. With a rope, it's trivial. Edward, you managed to climb up the rope with no problem. I'll give you one more chance to try and dislodge. It won't be like a big tennis ball size one, but maybe you can get yourself another one. If you want to give me a sleight of hand.
Oh, yeah, finally. Like,
All right, now you get one. It's not tennis ball size, but you get one that's like, let's say ping pong ball size, still impressively sized. In fact,
Kif will
this-
take that for helping you.
I look at Kif and I give him a big hug. Slide of
Hugs
hand.
don't pay the bills.
Oh, I'll give you this and give you a hug, but I'm definitely pickpocketing again.
So yeah, you through some means or another, you come away with this gem, which is probably worth about the same as the sapphire that you had purloined earlier. So it's 150 gold, more or less. Might need to be like refined by a jeweler or whatever, but still, it's worth it. All right. So I don't know what you all want to do regarding this mine. It's something you can come back to. You can claim it as your own and sell the rights to it to someone else if you wanted to. The so Trenton did say that you could have whatever you wanted to from the in here, apart from the axe. The axe was really the only thing he wanted.
How do we
But,
claim it?
I mean, just like
Put
anyone
up a sign?
would claim anything, like, you know, you could even potentially petition the government here to say, hey, we found this and we want first dibs. You're not sure how successful that would be, but at least it would be probably the most likely way of officially owning it, instead of just saying, hey, this is ours, and someone else just comes and takes it.
Yeah, well, doesn't look like many people come down here, so we could probably just sneak stuff out of here.
You could also do that.
Are we able to
Don't like the government to get sticky fingers.
a lot like someone else I know. Are we able to put like a hex or something on the door to this to help protect it?
You know that there is a very specialized type of magic called diabolism, which sounds more sinister than it really is. It draws on the power of the old ones to create runes that will craft different protections. That door that you almost opened is protected by one such rune.
Oh,
All right, are we able to, so we're able to do that on this one?
You would have to find someone with that knowledge.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Well,
We couldn't just cram the rune from this door into the other one?
It's possible. Such feats have been done before, but it would require a lot of carpentry.
That's not my thing.
well, I think Kip thinks that we head back to the other door. Unless we want to try and three kings all these gems out of here. These old flimsy suitcases.
So you've undone the trap that was on the other door anyhow, so you open it up and it kind of goes down into this strange waiting area. It seems like it's this long hallway. In fact, let's see, somebody give me a history check.
Oh, are we on the other side of the map right now?
Yeah, let me see where you guys are. You're about here. Oh,
Sorry, do we walk over there after that long hallway, or do we come back down?
I presume you effectively decide to abandon this door, go this way and open that door, and now you're here. If that makes sense. But curiously, so two things happen. One, Kif recognizes this to be of specifically dwarven architecture. This is an antechamber to a throne room. So this is like maybe a side chamber next to a throne room where the king might converse with a trusted advisor or with diplomats away from the court. And in fact, if your memory serves correctly, Kif, this door would lead to the king's own personal chambers, and this door would lead to the throne room. The second thing that happens, apart from Kif knowing that information, is that you see two apparitions that appear inside of this room.
Anyone else see that?
Did I?
Let's see.
I doubt it. Your
We all
investigation
see
doubts it.
apparitions.
Your
Yeah, all of you
investigation
do.
sucks.
All of you see these apparitions.
Okay.
And let me see. Sorry, I'm looking for something. Let me see. So this is kind of corny, but just imagine that these are two like glowing ghostly figures.
Orbs.
That's all I could find, but like you see outlines of people. They're obviously transparent and ghostly and they glow and everything, but they're like two dwarven men who are talking. And they're speaking in Dwarvish. Does anybody understand or have the ability to?
Yeah, Miltiadis, right?
So he knows Gnomish and he might be able to
Gnomish,
make a word
yeah.
or two, but
So, what does everyone speak? What do you speak?
I've got a little bit of let's double check here. I've got I got a little bit of giant. I got a little bit of Sylvan, and I do know some undercommon.
Oh wow.
Fluid.
I have draconic and primordial.
I have
Oh wow.
cruel. I don't know what that is. And thieves can't.
Oh,
What is that first one? How do you spell it?
Kraul. Karul.
Like crawl.
That's unusual, but yeah, okay. Let me see. Remind me. You have undercommon. Is that right?
That is correct. I don't remember how I learned it, but I got it.
Okay, I'll say because the kind of like the lingua franca of undercommon in this world would be dwarven. So I would say that it's like a near language. You would understand some of what they're saying.
Oh yeah, and yeah, the word for dwarven, yeah, that word is door. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was the answer. Yep.
It was land, but okay.
It was door. No, wait. I was thinking. Oh no, I was thinking of different dialect. Never mind.
Oh boy.
So, all of that being said, Draw, you understand what they're saying, and they're basically talking about their plans to get even with the elves, and they have a conversation that you're not quite following. It sounds like military operations, things that don't make sense outside of the context of their time and date. But you do hear them say, "Oh, and we're going to secure an alliance with the giants then." And the apparent king says, "Yes, and if they refuse, we will make them pay." And then they disappear after that.
And they
Wow,
didn't notice
all right.
us at all?
What's that?
They didn't notice us?
No, you think that whatever these apparitions were, they were just playing out like history. They were just kind of
Memory.
going through the motions.
Oh,
You're
so-
not sure if you like stepped between them or did the old like if they would have like noticed you. You're not sure. There's a more than zero chance that they might do this regularly. Like this might be something that happens. Is that they
Oh,
come
it's
back?
like the Hall of Presidents. You just go through and they just keep repeating the same BS all over again.
Mm.
So they disappear, and then there's the door that apparently leads to the throne room, and the door that apparently leads to the king's chambers.
To the,
To the
dwarves,
throne
or a bunch of
room.
giants.
Yeah.
Or what do you think? Throne room first or chambers?
I mean, I think the throne room.
Throne room. Cool.
All right. Who opens the door?
Kiff does, because Kiff puts on his name tag as if he's kind of a tour guide.
Okay. All right, Kiff. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, thanks. Probably should have checked that one for traps, but
Yeah.
All right. It's all you can do to avoid it. You fall backwards, and a black beam emits from a once hidden rune that was drawn upon this door, and it burns itself into the wall behind you. So you think if it would have hit you, it would have branded you with this like dark magic. But it leaves that mark over there, and you think that it's whatever it is, it's bad mojo. You're lucky you didn't get hit with it. But the door can now be opened.
with the gym activated, the door can't be opened, or
No, it can. I'm just saying, like, all of that happened, and then the door opens,
Oh,
and you enter the throne room. Kiv was in fact correct about his assertions, and you see the map appears to identify the very axe you're looking for hanging over the throne. Sitting on the throne is what appears to be the king, dressed in his military regalia, in skeletal form. You know, he's of course long dead. and flanking him are two stone dwarves that are like life size. So they're not like huge or anything. They're just as tall as a dwarf would be, but they're very realistic stone dwarven statues.
I'm peeking in and I'm saying that's a trap.
Does the king looks
Yeah.
real, like alive?
Well,
No.
no, he's like in his armor, but you can see like in his visor, it's just a skeleton.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But the stone dwarves flanking him are very realistic.
Well, we have to investigate it at the least.
Yep.
Well, don't touch the axe.
No, not yet.
Can we all roll investigation?
What would you like to investigate?
If there's any traps, maybe, or the statues.
Does anybody have an ability to like sense magic or some?
This is a very magic light party.
Yeah, like
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
A magic
pro.
light or magic? We have a lot of magic.
yeah.
I'm proficient in Arcana.
We don't have a lot of like wizard.
So I guess I do have advantage in investigation. I just don't know why, but that could be.
I don't know if that's a function of your class or your race. I can poke around and find
because I
out.
have advantages in a bunch of things. In Arcana, history, investigation, nature, religion, and survival.
Jesus.
Huh.
Wow,
Oh,
advantage. Wow.
Oh, I think I know why. That's a what's your class called? It's a
Blood hunter.
Oh, the blood hunter.
It's a blood hunter thing.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, they are OP as hell.
Okay, cool. So should we all roll investigation?
And specifically, you have to tell me what you're investigating.
I'm gonna bring my lizard brain over and look at the. I want to walk up to the stone statues.
Do it. All
And-
right.
Yeah, I guess I would like to look at the king a little bit closer, but not too close.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation. Mirik, you believe that these statues are constructs. They can animate. You're not sure what would compel them to do so. Miltiades, you're certain that there's, well, let's put it this way. You notice that the dust around the king's throne has been disturbed recently. You think that he has gotten up and moved, probably in the last few years.
I'm going to take this opportunity to hide and just get ready.
What if
Okay.
what if I grab it with mage hand and we just run?
Why don't you don't have any investigate magic things?
Nope. My two spells are shield and mage armor. Very
Oh.
soft.
Welcome back to level 1, y'all.
I know, right?
So squishy.
Dang.
So is that the plan you're going with?
I don't know. I was just throwing that one out there.
Kif likes it.
See what we can.
All right, I'm hiding by this pillar,
You're
but very
doing
close
so
to the
great remembering to do third person. I love it.
So what have y'all got for me?
Wow.
All right, go for it. I guess I'm gonna stand as far back. I think I can probably get it from this back wall. Actually, is this a door as well?
Let's see which one.
This one?
Yes.
Hmm.
Oh, yes. Any-
So Miltiades is doing what?
I'm gonna use Mage Hand, which is like a magical hand you can just grab stuff with. And I'm gonna try and yank
Grab
the
Grab the axe.
axe free and pull it to us so that we can run out. I feel like who's the fastest?
I mean, I'm the closest to the door.
Okay. What's your speed?
Yeah,
Is
that's,
anyone
sounds
like?
right.
I'm pretty slow. That's my only thing.
I'm very average. I'm 30 feet.
Okay. I'm
Same.
25. So, all right. So, I guess everyone get close to the door and we'll grab it and run the heck out.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to stand on the other side. But don't get me wrong. I'll be peeking in around and, giving you the hands like, go, yes, do it.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna empty out the initiative order. We may not need it, but let's see what happens. All right. So
Ah,
it sounds like Miltiades is going to mage hand the weapon off of the wall. What would the rest of you like to do, and where would you like to be?
I'm going to hang out kind of where my icon is, and I'm going to just
Mhm.
peek around the corner, staying hidden.
Yeah, Kip does the same thing. We're doing the Three Stooges thing where we all just peek on top of each other.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he said
Definitely gonna die.
he wants to grab it, and we should all be ready to run. So we're all on the other side of that door.
Okay.
Hold
What
that
about
door open for me.
what about draw?
Well, it seems like the door is taken up with the Stooges. So I'll probably be just like within, and I'll prep already in action to fire a good old cold soul at anything that moves and be ready to run.
Excellent. Okay. So Miltiades, you use your mage hand. You bring the axe to you, not unlike a lightsaber to a Jedi apprentice, and it's kind of you're concentrating, and this axe is moving towards you quickly, but not quite quickly enough for your tastes. As it is halfway, and you see the dust come off of the stone statues. You see a gout of stale, dusty air emit from the king's armor visor, and you hear not so much from any of these creatures, but kind of emitting from the room itself. Who dares disturb my tomb?
Oh no.
What would you like to do? It's 10 feet away, this axe. And they're already getting up to move. How would you like to do that? You think if you waited for it to come to you, you might give them an opportunity to do something?
Can Draw and I both take a shot at them?
Whoa, escalating.
Well, yes and no. Miltiades, you're concentrating on this, so if you do something, it'll fall.
Okay, so can I run towards it and meet it halfway?
You can.
Can
All
Kip
right.
use his mage hand to help with that?
Ooh, Kif has a
Yeah.
mage hand too. Kif, what is your spell casting ability?
As far as like spell attack or modifier or anything?
Yeah, it's charisma, because aren't you a warlock as well?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Warlock, give me a charisma check.
Uh-uh.
Oh.
All right. What? That's right. We had this conversation. You have a -1 for some reason. So your weak mage hand kind of like has a mini slap fight with Miltiades' hand. Miltiades, give me the same roll if you like. See if maybe you
Sure.
can coerce your magical power to manifest a little bit more strongly.
There it goes. Oh.
All right. So the combined efforts of your mage hands causes the axe kind of like to waffle around, not really helping your cause, not hurting it either. But now Miltiades, if you want to reach out and grab it, you're going to have to give me either an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Let's do acrobatics.
Go for
There
it.
we go.
There you go. So you plan just the right moment as this sine wave axe is coming towards you, and you don't want to catch the business end of it. So you leap up as it's kind of doing its roller coaster motion, and then grab onto it, and it pulls you up in the air before coming down onto the ground, and you're able to like firmly grip it, and it stops moving. But you notice that the door that was open, that the open door that you were thinking of running through is starting to close. So I need you to make me a dexterity check to see if you can get out of there before the thing slams shut. You're pretty sure that if that door slams shut on you, it's not going to open easily.
Okay. Straight dexterity.
Yep.
And we're not able to help prop this open. It's closing no
Tell
matter what.
me. Oh, if you want to keep it open,
No one wants to give me an
I'll let you
inspiration.
I'll give you inspiration.
Is this door like a sliding door, or is it like open close like on a hinge?
It's a closed door, so it is just kind of closing on its own, and it's supernaturally strong.
Okay,
But if someone wants to make a strength athletics check to try and hold it open, you can.
can I try and cram the gem that I got in the other room into one of the hinges and block it from closing?
You know what? Yes, I will allow you to do that. That will let's see, Miltiades, you already have advantage. Let's see. I'm gonna let you roll a third time with the help of this gem. Okay, I'll say that was just enough to get through, but the gem is crushed in the process.
Did I also make it out?
What's that?
Did Draw also make it out?
Yeah, yeah. Draw was like right by the door, so I'll say
Okay.
difficult. So Miltiades, you made it out with this axe. The
Real
door
Indiana
slammed.
Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God we didn't just steal the boat.
You see,
What's the fun in that?
you see more spirits start to rise up out of the ground, and you're pretty sure it's dwarven spirits, and they all like wordlessly just point at you as you walk by, accusingly.
But they can't do anything.
Yeah.
Not so far.
All right,
As you get to the very end, you get to this like a stairway up. You see one of the stone dwarves kind of bust through this door, like they kind of open it very sharply and are following you. Not very quickly, but long story short, you get out and you have a pretty good feeling that these dwarven statues are going to be following you for some time. Whether or not they catch you is another question, but you think that they are the kind not to give up easily.
They're allowed out of this tomb then.
Yep, you've made it out of the tomb, yes.
Could I, just to see like what the reaction would be, could I take a pot shot at one of the statues as we're running away?
Go ahead.
I just want to see what, like, if it makes a hit at all.
Go for it.
Just had that itchy trigger finger, didn't you?
Well, that was yeah, a little bit. But that's a crit fail. Oh shit, Ish.
Oh no.
You told me to remind you if I crit fail on this gun.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? Shit.
So here's what happens. Your shot goes astray. Here's how it all plays out. You're leaving this place. You lean into a doorway to take a shot at one of these stone things. The ground rumbles. You're not sure again what is causing that rumbling, but your shot kind of just goes just enough to the right. The bullet hits one of the spirits, one of like these weird apparitions, and snuffs it out.
Oh God! Quickly, let's
Well,
leave.
Yeah, I agree. That was fucking weird.
Go.
So this is kind of a fast forward moment that I want to make sure that I address right now because I'll completely forget it. Just so you can make a note of it, Draw. The next morning, you find that bullet back in your possession. Whether like you're looking at your revolver and you see it there, or if it's like in a pouch on your person somewhere, but you find that bullet.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking weird. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, don't like that at all.
Yeah.
All right. So
Are both
You-
of the golems following us, or is it just one?
you only saw one. You would probably be willing to bet money that it's both.
All right. Well, I'm going to say to these guys, all my party, well, I bet they can't swim too well. Let's get to
Good
the
point.
To the boat.
So here's a question. It's 9:30. I figure this is more or less a good time to stop, but there's a critical question. Do you A, give the axe over to Trenton, or B, take the axe with you, climb on the boat, and just make your way wherever you desire?
Well,
There seems to be something about this axe that I don't know if I want to give it away to this guy.
Right.
especially a guy named Trenton.
We learn more about the axe before we give it to him.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
Do we want to stop here and say that you try and learn about the axe in town before you like take any further action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the good idea. Yeah.
And
Okay.
as we're taking this axe into town and like kind of researching it, the golems are still following us.
Or should I firebolt one of the doorways and try and block it?
You think the dwarves are going to continue following you? Do you want to like bar the door into this tomb maybe?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you do that. You think that's going to buy you some time?
Just a little bit.
So there we go.
We bar the door to the tomb.
Mm-hmm. We'll say that you like take some like debris, like some large chunks of stone, and just set it in front of the door, stroll it over or something. But
big gems.
there we go. You've exited the tomb. You've acquired the axe along with a handful of other knickknacks and such. If you can figure things out, might be able to come back and make yourselves rich through the strange geodesic dome of a mine that lays inside. You might even be able to sell the knickknacks for a really good price. All of that being said, you've got a lot of questions ahead of you. Who are Fox and Quickiron? What does Trenton want with this axe, and what are their real intentions if you can't trust the ones that they've told you? What is this axe? And what of the strange nature of the curses that have befallen all of you? What does it all mean? Why are you tied to this Pontifex who seems to apparently threaten the politics on a global stage? All of these questions and more may be answered next time, but probably not. As we conclude the second session of the Cursed Fen of the Old Kingdoms. All of you are level 2 now.
Nice.
Woo!
Okay. I think I
Woohoo.
got most of them. It's who and is it Fox or Phlox?
Fox, like the creature.
Okay.
Or Mulder.
You.
Perfect.
Who are Fox and Quickiron? What is this axe? What is the strange nature of the curses? Why are we all tied to Pontifex? There was another question between Fox and Quickiron, and what is this axe?
About
what's
Trenton. Like, what are Trenton's intentions?
What is Trenton's real? Okay. Okay.
Oh, damn it. Awesome, folks. I'm gonna hit the bed, but
Cool.
Yeah, I
thanks
got
for a good
guys.
time.
Really
It was good to get back behind the dice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
absolutely.
great.
Awesome.
I'm
I'm gonna
into
go
it
ahead and
now.
stop the stream. I won't go into my spiel. I'll just say good night, stream people, and thank you for watching. I'm gonna end